Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. And it's back to normal Practice Tee conditions on the JH Practice Tee. It's cold and it's super windy. Status quo, guys. Okay. Just hang on a sec. Alright guys, just a couple of things today. Alright, now what we need to do clearly in channel lock is keep the shoulders closed when we hit the ball so we can be in our channel. So what is one of the easier things to do, or other mechanisms you can use to make sure that the shoulder girdle is closed when you hit the golf ball? And that the head is back and down, and that the trail shoulder is back and down. Guys, something very simplistic, and it's all about the lead shoulder. Now once we've set up in our trail position here, once we've set up in the trail position here, we've got this stature of the lead shoulder pointing up in the air. Now we've got that at address because we're trying to mirror what we want at impact. Now how do we get that mirroring effect of that lead shoulder up at impact? Because we know if we've got that up at impact, then we've got closed shoulders. Because look at that, guys, if I'm up at impact, shoulders are closed. If I'm down at impact or I'm behind, the shoulders are anywhere. So simplistically, guys, believe it or not, this is a very simplistic way of getting those shoulders up, or getting that lead shoulder up in that position there, which will corral the trail shoulder and keep the general shoulder girdle closed. What is it? Simple as falling off a log, guys. After we've set up here and we move into that backswing position, all we do on the downswing, guys, is we fire that lead shoulder up. We fire it up as hard as we can. We just fire it straight up as hard as we can to the sky. What is the knock-on effect of that? If I fire that up, look what happens here. It drives my trail shoulder down, or being a right-hander, my right shoulder down, and it drives the weight down that vertical trail axis into that trail leg and into the ground. Great knock-on effect. And that is all precipitated by just doing that one thing and just firing that lead shoulder straight up in the air. Now if you fire that lead shoulder straight up in the air and you've got your 5 o'clock nose back there, believe it or not, you won't do this. In firing the trail shoulder up, you won't do that. You won't do that. If you fire it up, there's just like a counteractive type process that takes place in the shoulders and in the trail side of the body, and that we get some compression in the trail side of the body, we get a little bit of secondary tilt, and we get a lot of drive down in that trail side of the body just by pushing that lead shoulder up. Now I haven't hit any shots, so, and it's very cold today, guys, so I'm a little bit as we say today, a shade of stiff. All right, now, blitzing headwind into us here, cross head, horrible wind to hit into, cross here, bang. People, right-handers, hate hitting into that wind. Jack Nicklaus would never ever practice with the wind on his back. And that's why a lot of his golf courses he designs circular, if they've got enough room, he designs circular practice area so you can go around and hit back into the wind. He used to hate having it on his back. And I must admit I don't like it either. But the good thing about channel lock is that we get this baby draw into out. Alright guys, now I'm just going to fire that lead shoulder up. I'm not going to do anything else but fire the lead shoulder up. Our first shot of the day. And that's just firing the lead shoulder up in the air, guys. That's all I'm doing. Just fire it up. Forces you back this way. Okay, we warmed up after those shots. That's all it is, guys. That's really all it is. Just hit a couple this way. Probably not a great angle that, but it's a 5-irons, guys. I basically use 5-iron all the time, even from the start of my practice session right through my practice sessions. I don't like practicing with short irons, guys, because you really don't learn anything with a short iron. I've said that ad nauseum before, and why do I say that? Because, you know, the short golf club and all that loft and spin, you can do a lot of things wrong. It just straightens the shot up. But a 5-iron is going to find you out every time if you don't hit it properly. Like that. Now they're just beautiful shots. Perfect shots. Keep one this way. Now if you can keep your trail foot down at the same time while you're doing that, that will really stabilise that trail side. Like that. So windy, guys, probably 45 k's now. It's just really windy. Okay, trail side up, trail foot down. Don't get any better than that. Now the other thing, guys, I want to talk about, and Bill Phillips from MMI Guide touched on it yesterday in one of his videos. He said that, you know, what we've done from day one in channel lock is basically try and get the club in line with the trail leg, so that we've got, you know, proper loft on the golf club and it's not shut down and all that type of thing. And also in initiating the backswing, what Bill does is Bill negative loads it, and I support that, and I concur with Bill's suggestion there. And negative loading, guys, is basically this. That's a negative load. The hand goes and the club head stays and it gets pulled along. It's what I term a paintbrush stroke. If you had a paintbrush here and you're painting a wall here, you would go here, here. That's what I feel in my good swings. I feel negative load, positive load. That's the paintbrush that I refer to on a lot of occasions. That's the paintbrush action. And you'll see that with Bill. If you slow Bill's golf swing down, you'll see that look about him. He actually has that sort of negative load look about him. He gets that. Now that's good, guys, because that does two things. It gets you going in the channel going back, and it stops you lifting the club. Because if you activate the club head first, it's going to take it off plane, which is what Bill said. It's absolutely correct. That will take the club off plane. But if you just pull your hands back here, negative load it, the club is tracking along the ground, and it's in the channel very early. So that point that Bill made there, which is what we should term the paintbrush stroke. It's negative load, positive load. Now, I don't get as much stand up of the shaft as I used to get. Now, the reason I said that you want to stand the shaft up with as much perpendicularity as you can, and that's perfect perpendicularity there, because that gives you the proper loft that the golf club's designed to work with. Now, if you've got a bit of forward angle on it, and you don't make a compensation, you'll be opening the face. As soon as that goes forward, that opens the face. It points the club to the right. Now, I have a little bit of angle on my club at address, but I start off with about 3 degrees shut down in my face, because I'm hitting into out, probably 8 degrees, so I want 3 or 4 degrees shut down on my club to give me that little 4-degree draw. But that's what I do just personally. So I have a little bit of shaft angle instead of having it right back here on the... Now, I mean, I can hit it from back here. And as Bill said, when he gets it back there, he hits it fantastic. And I hit it fantastic from back there too, because I get a lot of negative load on the shot. It's Friday, guys. Everybody's going to Sydney for the weekend. And all the people coming up from Sydney for the weekend. So the perpendicularity, you know, but Bill gets here and then he does that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have a little bit more angle on. We're going to whip that left shoulder up. Now that's a little bit smoother, JH, because you're not as cold as you were when you started. And guys, have some freedom in that backswing. Have some freedom. Let the club have some freedom. Don't be really stiff and rigid. Let the club have some freedom. As I pull it back, it stays down, but it also loads the golf club with momentum and with energy. And that's what we want, guys. At the end of the day, that's exactly what we want. All right, we'll just flow this into the backswing. Nice little bit of energy. Lead shoulder up through the ball. Nice flow. Now the other thing, guys, that we must endeavour to, you must keep that 5 o'clock nose in place. It's got to be there. It's the hardest thing, and that's part of the protocol. It's part of the protocol, and that's why I'm having, why I haven't, you know, it's not a finished product for me. I just want to get everything in place. I want it foolproof. I want it infallible. That's as good as it gets there. Yeah, you don't want that jerkiness in the start of the downswing. And I'm guilty of it more than most people, because I've got a very sort of jerky, quick, you know, razzmatazz type tempo normally. Okay guys, those are just a couple of points that I just wanted to make today, and just have and part of the ongoing process going forward, that we're just exploring bits and bits of channel lock. I'll come back in a moment and I'll do something on aiming and what you should do when you practice.